Jason here, Word of the Wise. I had an amazing revelation over the weekend, Friday night, and I kept looking into Amos 8, and I started looking and comparing it because I noticed some of the words started matching up into Revelation 6, and I started looking at some of the words in both, and that's when I realized that the black horse in Revelation 6 may be talking about a weighing of the balances of the wheat. And if you know the parables of Jesus, the wheat and the tares, which is Matthew 13, and in that it speaks of the wheat being the faithful and the tares being cast into the flames of hell, fire. You know, so that is something that he told us to have an understanding of. And in Revelation it says, you know, the third black horse brings balances and weigh the wheat for a penny, or a bushel of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, or something to that effect. I don't know exactly word for word right now, but in the same, if you call the balance is weighing the wheat as the faithful being judged on the scales of judgment, not for food, because then the pale horse brings death, hunger, and hell follows with him. So with that, you can also say that we are going to, you know, the Christians are going to be judged, the faithful that are left behind, that because reading Amos 8 and comparing the two, there's going to be some sort of a war in the first seal. The second seal is going to be taking peace off the earth, where people will kill one another. And then the third is going to be a bringing back together with another religion, possibly. And then Jesus will weigh the balances to see which Christians are going to stay faithful in that time, or they're going to turn their back and join into the one world religion. And I've heard many people talk about these Noahide laws as it's going to be illegal to be a Christian, because if you're believing in Jesus, who was a false prophet, they'll say that you are breaking the laws. And I've even heard people talking that if you're a part of Christianity, you can be put to death for breaking these Noahide laws, because there must be some sort of a great deception that will come, that will be the proof that God or some sort of master exists. And then when you are worshiping Jesus, you're not being on track with what we were told by the others, you know. And the stars fall from heaven can also mean something as the fallen ones come, and they claim themselves to be the creators and God. And that if you are following Jesus or following into all these other weird religions, oh, Buddha, that's not what these guys said. You know, aliens. You know, there's been a lot of talk about aliens being the way that they come back, because if angels fall out, then we say, well, that's what's said in the Bible. If aliens come, that proves evolution. That's where the flat earth stuff comes into play. If you believe in a round globe earth and planets that are, you know, millions of light years away, these guys can show up and say whatever that we know from science movies and all that stuff. So you better be faithful to the book and not buy into somebody jumping out of a spaceship who looks like Jesus or something to that effect and says, oh, well, no. Which I've done videos on in the past saying, you know, if Jesus hops out of a UFO, not saying that's what's going to happen in the future. I'm not a prophet, and I'm not trying to be dogmatic about stuff, but I'm just saying, if a UFO lands and Jesus comes walking out, and people will look at that and say, comes from the heavens. Oh, all this time, you know, our creator was an alien, not some guy from a place called Heaven. Heaven was the stars in the solar system. It explains so much. So we have to stay focused. And I'm hoping that I've stayed focused on this whole thing while driving, because this is not easy to keep in mind. But that's how important reading into Amos 8, the book of Revelations, and think of deceit of the wheat, and that is going to be a judgment, not a, suffering of hunger and, poor economic value of our money system. And we're going to need, a daily dose of money is going to be a daily dose of food. So you better keep working. It's going to be the hard times, the tribulation. It's going to be deception of religion, I believe, now that I'm reading into this in a different way, that I've read Revelation 6 50 times. And now seeing it this one time, it opens a whole nother door of what they were trying to speak, and get it past those writers of the book of the King James, because maybe they didn't even realize what they were seeing in this, because they weren't privy to the information. They were just writing down what was written before, and they were changing it and taking books out to their own, desires of deceit, what to leave out, what to put in. And there's plenty of stuff there, but I believe that many people have missed this, including myself, until this weekend. So I'm going to try to get this out, and I'm going to try to make a longer video to read into this and show a lot more. So hopefully this recorded a whole message. God bless.